Have you ever paused to consider the intricate dance between politics and debt? The two are intertwined in a complex ballet, each influencing the other in a myriad of subtle ways. Consider, for instance, the contrasting debt situations of different governments. The United States, for example, has a debt-to-GDP ratio that has skyrocketed over the past few decades, reaching an all-time high of over 100% in 2021. This means that the total debt of the United States is larger than the country's entire economic output for a year. On the other end of the spectrum, we have countries like Norway. Despite being a country rich in natural resources like oil, Norway has a remarkably low debt-to-GDP ratio of just over 30%. This is due to a combination of prudent fiscal policies and a robust sovereign wealth fund that diligently invests the country's oil revenues. Now, let's pivot to Kenya, a country that presents a unique debt situation. Despite a debt-to-GDP ratio that has been rising steadily, reaching over 60% in 2021, Kenya has managed to avoid a debt crisis. This is due to a combination of factors like robust economic growth, political stability, and prudent fiscal policies. Further along the spectrum, we have Japan, which has a staggeringly high debt-to-GDP ratio of over 200%. However, due to Japan's unique economic situation and the fact that the vast majority of its debt is domestically owned, this high of debt has not led to the kind of fiscal crises one might expect. In contrast, a country like Greece, which also had a high debt-to-GDP ratio, was not so fortunate. The Greek debt crisis of 2010 was a stark reminder of the potential pitfalls of high government debt, particularly when combined with other economic vulnerabilities. So what have we learned from comparing these different debt situations? For one, it is clear that the debt-to-GDP ratio is a crucial indicator of a country's fiscal health. However, it is not the only factor that matters. Other factors, such as a country's economic structure, its political stability, and its fiscal policies, also play a crucial role. Furthermore, it is evident that high levels of debt can lead to serious economic consequences. However, as the case of Japan shows, high debt does not always spell doom. The key lies in how a country manages its debt and whether it can generate sufficient economic growth to service that debt. In conclusion, the dance between politics and debt is a complex one, filled with nuances and subtleties. It is a dance that requires careful choreography, prudent fiscal policies, and robust economic growth. And it is a dance that every government must master if it is to ensure the long-term prosperity of its citizens.